Behind the dazzling lights of Hollywood, where stars are constantly reinventing themselves, lie stories that go far beyond the screen. These are the bold, authentic journeys of individuals who defy expectations and break barriers, often hidden beneath their glamorous exteriors. Today, we're diving into the incredible tales of the iconic stars who've crossed gender boundaries. Some names might surprise you. Ready to find out who's on the list? Let's get started. Chaz Bono. When Sonny and Cher welcomed their daughter Chastity in 1969, they could never have imagined the difficult journey that lay ahead. Growing up in the spotlight, Chastity often appeared confident on the outside, but behind the scenes, she was battling with her identity from a young age. Though raised as a girl, Chastity always felt disconnected from the feminine identity people saw in her. This internal struggle led to years of emotional turmoil and instability. As Chastity tried to fit into society's expectations, she never felt truly at home in her own skin. The older she got, the more intense this conflict became. She came to the painful realization that she wasn't meant to live as a woman, but accepting that truth was not easy. The fear of rejection from her family and society only added to the weight of her struggle. For years, she suffered in silence, maintaining a public image that conformed to what the world expected of her. It wasn't until the late 2000s that Chastity made the bold decision to transition, embracing a new chapter as Chaz Bono. The journey was not without its challenges. Doubt, fear, and pain marked every step. Even now, looking back at old photos of himself as Chastity is a painful reminder of the years he spent in a body that didn't feel like his own. At 40, Chaz underwent significant physical changes, including a myectomy, to help him feel more at ease with his body. He also began hormone therapy, starting testosterone injections to develop masculine features like facial hair and a deeper voice. These changes marked the beginning of a new life, one where Chaz could finally embrace his true self. Beyond his personal transformation, Chaz has become a fierce advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, using his platform to raise awareness and support others facing similar struggles. Following in his parents' footsteps, Chaz also pursued a career in entertainment, breaking barriers as the first transgender man to play a male role in a feature film. His acting credits include popular shows like The Secret Life of the American Teenager, The Bold and the Beautiful, and American Horror Story. Chaz's journey hasn't only been a personal battle, it's also been a challenge for his mother, Cher. Cher has openly shared how difficult it was for her to accept Chaz's transition, going from seeing Chastity as a girl to seeing Chaz as a man. Though Cher still struggles with using the correct pronouns at times, her love and pride for her son are unwavering. She has repeatedly expressed how proud she is of Chaz, acknowledging his bravery in living authentically. Elliot Page. Before becoming the famous model Elliot Page, she was known in the fashion world as Elliot Page, even as a male model. From the beginning, Andrea stood out not only for her striking looks, but also for her ability to confidently strut the runway in women's clothing, exuding grace and poise. Her bold presence and distinct style quickly made her one of the most sought-after models. Yet behind the glitz and glam of the fashion world, Andrea was wrestling with an internal conflict about her true identity. Growing up, Andrea always felt different, but she couldn't put those feelings into words. Born in Bosnia and raised in Australia, she had to navigate a complex identity in a society that often saw things in black and white. From an early age, Andrea was drawn to what society considered feminine interests, playing with makeup and dressing up with her mother. While these moments brought comfort, they also came with an underlying tension, as she understood that the world expected boys to behave a certain way. As Andrea entered her teenage years, her physical appearance began to diverge from what was typical for the boys around her. This led to her standing out in a crowd, but it also brought its share of struggles, bullying, and isolation. Still, Andrea found refuge in fashion, where uniqueness was celebrated, and her genderless beauty soon caught the eye of top designers. Her modeling career soared, but success couldn't fill the emptiness she felt inside. Andrea knew deep down that she wasn't meant to live as a man. The idea of gender reassignment had been on her mind for years, but making the decision was far from easy. Transitioning required not only physical changes, but also the risk of losing her career and the relationships she'd built in the fashion industry. Yet, the need to live authentically became more pressing. In 2014, Andrea made the life-altering choice to transition, a bold decision that marked the end of years of internal struggle and the beginning of her journey to be her true self. Andrea, now known as Andrea Page, faced a transition that was both physically and mentally challenging. She revealed to Vogue that it wasn't as simple as seeing a doctor and requesting surgery. It involved extensive psychological assessments, medical testing, and careful preparation. But after transitioning, Andrea's career not only survived, it thrived. She made history as the first transgender model to appear on the cover of GQ Portugal. Looking back on her journey, Andrea often reflects on the obstacles she overcame. If she could speak to her younger self, she would offer words of comfort and hope. Despite the struggles and confusion she faced, Andrea would become the strong woman she always knew she was meant to be. Her story is not just one of transition, but a powerful testament to the importance of being true to yourself and embracing your differences. Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's journey from Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn is not just a personal transition. It has become a powerful symbol of the fight for acceptance and the courage to live authentically in today's world. Bruce Jenner, once a global sports icon for winning the gold medal in the decathlon at the 1976 Montreal Olympics, was known worldwide for his athletic achievements. But behind the spotlight, Caitlyn was struggling with complex and often confusing emotions, feelings she had trouble even understanding herself. From a young age, Bruce was fascinated by his mother and sister's clothes, a hobby that brought both joy and confusion. In a time when gender identity was a taboo subject, expressing these feelings felt impossible. To cope with his inner conflict, Bruce threw himself into sports, finding solace in competition and achievement. Success came with the Olympic gold medal, but even at the peak of his career, the pain of his gender identity remained a constant presence. Alongside his athletic career, Bruce was also known as a father and husband. However, his first two marriages ended in divorce. When he was with Linda Thompson, Bruce tried to share his struggles with gender identity, but Linda's lack of understanding left him feeling even more isolated. When Bruce began his relationship with Kris Jenner, he decided to be upfront about his challenges, revealing that he had been using hormones for 4 years. However, Kris later denied knowing about Bruce's struggles, leading to tension and conflict in their relationship. Despite these difficulties, Bruce and Kris built a happy family together and became household names on the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. As the head of the Kardashian-Jenner family, Bruce was loved by many. But the decision to transition to Caitlyn shocked her family, particularly her children. Despite the initial surprise, both the Jenner and Kardashian families showed Caitlyn immense support and love, proving that family can be a powerful source of strength during tough times. At the age of 65, Caitlyn made the life-altering decision to transition, a time when many people are thinking about stability, but for her, being true to herself was paramount. In 2015, Caitlyn came out to the world in a groundbreaking Vanity Fair article titled, "Call Me Caitlyn." This moment not only marked a turning point in her life, but also sparked a larger conversation about transgender rights, contributing to the visibility and awareness of the LGBTQ+ community. From being a celebrated sports icon to becoming a symbol of freedom, courage, and hope, Caitlyn Jenner has shown that transitioning is not just about changing one's appearance. It's about freeing the soul and discovering true happiness. Her journey proves that embracing your true self is the ultimate act of liberation. If you enjoyed this video, drop a 1 in the comments, and if not, let me know with a 0. I appreciate your feedback. Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox is a household name and a powerful symbol of resilience in the transgender community. She is best known for her groundbreaking role as Sophia Bursette on Orange is the New Black, where she portrays a transgender woman navigating life in a women's prison. But before becoming the celebrated actress and LGBTQ+ advocate she is today, Laverne's life was marked by challenges, struggles, and a long, difficult journey to discover and accept her true identity. Born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, a place where traditional gender norms were strictly enforced, Laverne realized early on that she was different. From a young age, she was drawn to things that society deemed feminine, but these inclinations caused her significant pain. Her differences made her a target for bullying and teasing from peers, simply because she didn't conform to gender role stereotypes. One of Laverne's first passions was dancing, and although her mother was concerned about her son participating in an activity considered too feminine, she eventually allowed Laverne to take tap and jazz classes, though she forbade ballet, fearing it was too feminine. Despite the restrictions, Laverne embraced every opportunity, pouring her heart into each movement. Growing up in a conservative, religious environment, Laverne often felt ashamed and guilty about her emotions. Fortunately, she survived, and that moment became a crucial turning point in her life. Though it took years for Laverne to fully accept herself, she never gave up. Eventually, she left Alabama to pursue her dreams in New York, where she began her transition, a journey that, while challenging, was ultimately liberating. Laverne's big break came when she was cast in Orange is the New Black. The role of Sophia was written with sensitivity and depth, reflecting Laverne's own experiences. She brought the transgender narrative to the screen in a way that resonated deeply with audiences, making her an icon in the fight for transgender rights. Beyond her acting career, Laverne has become a passionate advocate for the LGBTQ+ community, using her fame to raise awareness and educate people about the challenges transgender individuals face. Her message is simple yet powerful: transgender is beautiful. Laverne Cox's courage and resilience have not only shaped her own journey, but have also inspired a generation striving for acceptance and equality in society. Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox's story is a living testament to courage, determination, and the ability to break barriers in a world often slow to accept change. As a pioneer in mixed martial arts (MMA), Fallon's journey has been about more than just fighting in the ring. It's been about defending her identity and paving the way for transgender athletes. Born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, Fallon knew from a young age that she was different. She felt more comfortable around girls, but expressing that in a society where traditional gender norms were strictly enforced was difficult. Like many transgender people, Fallon struggled with confusion about her identity, especially when her parents didn't provide the support she needed. When she told them she was transgender, her mother didn't take the news well, and her father believed Fallon was simply gay, even trying to cure it through conversion therapy, a controversial and discredited practice. Despite the pressure from her family and society, Fallon remained steadfast in her belief that she was not a man, and that transitioning was essential to becoming her true self. Her decision wasn't easy, especially without the support of her parents, but Fallon was determined to pursue the life she knew she was meant to live. After transitioning, Fallon Fox made history as the first openly transgender athlete in MMA, a remarkable achievement in a sport renowned for its physical demands and emphasis on strength and masculinity. When she stepped into the ring, she faced criticism over whether she had an unfair advantage over her female opponents. Many critics argued that being born male gave her superior strength. But for Fallon, the hardest challenge wasn't just the criticism from the public, it was the shift in perspective from close friends. Before coming out, she was seen as a regular female athlete. But after revealing her transgender story, many began to view her differently. questioning her worth as a competitor. Despite facing this discrimination, Fallon didn't give up. She continued to fight both in and out of the ring, determined to prove that transgender athletes deserve a place in sports. Fallon's story isn't just about her athletic journey. It's a symbol of the fight for equality and acceptance in sports, showing the world that prejudice and ignorance should